Today we have an extra special story. The Big Enormous Turnip. Now, a turnip is a root vegetable where you only see the green tops from the ground. Now, when I think of root vegetables, I think of fall. Potatoes, turnips, parsnips, that all of the lovely vegetables that we planted in the summer are ready to harvest in the fall. Now, in our story today, a farmer has planted his garden in the summer and is ready to harvest his garden in the fall. But he runs into a little problem. But with the help of all the people on the farm, he's able to overcome it. But before we get to our story, let's sing our welcome song. We clap and say hello. We clap and say hello. With our friends at Storytime, we clap and say hello. We stomp and say hello. We stomp and say hello. With our friends at Storytime, we stomp and say hello. We wave and say hello. We wave and say hello. With our friends at Storytime, we wave and say hello. Thank you for joining and singing along with me. Awesome job, peeps. All right, on to our story. So, today's story is the giant, enormous turnip. Once upon a time, there was a farmer, and he had planted a garden. And in that garden, he planted turnips. Well, the turnips grew, and as the summer went on, the turnips grew bigger, and it continued to grow, and it grew and grew and grew until that big, enormous turnip was huge. Its top was almost the same size as a tree. Ooh, that is a big turnip. Well, the fall arrived, and the farmer got ready to harvest or pick his turnip. So he grabbed hold of those leafy green parts, and he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled, and nothing happened. So, our farmer does what he always did when he was having trouble on the farm. He went and got his wife. Because on the farm, everybody helps. So, the farmer's wife grabs hold of the farmer. The farmer grabs hold of that turnip, and they pull, and they pull, and they pull on that turnip. And nothing happens. So, the farmer's wife calls their daughter. Because on the farm, everybody helps. So, the farmer's daughter grabs hold of her mom. The mom, the farmer's wife, grabs hold of the farmer. And the farmer grabs hold of that turnip. And they pull. And they pull. And they pull. and nothing happens. Again. Well, the daughter calls the dog. Because on the farm, everybody helps. The dog, whoa, grabs hold of the dog. The daughter grabs hold of the farmer's wife. The farmer's wife grabs hold of the farmer, and they pull, and they pull, and they pull, and nothing happens. So the dog calls the cat. Meow. Because on the farm, everybody helps. So the cat, meow, grabs hold of the dog. Woof. The dog grabs hold of the daughter. The daughter grabs hold of the farmer's wife. The farmer grabs hold of that giant, big, enormous turnip. And they pull. And they pull. And they pull. And nothing happens. Well, the cat calls over the mouse. The mouse, because everybody on the farm helps. The mouse, squeak, grabs hold of the cat. Meow. The cat grabs hold of the dog. Woof. The dog grabs hold of the daughter. The daughter grabs hold of the farmer's wife. And the farmer grabs hold of that turnip. And all of them, working together, pull and pull and pull, pull and pull and pull again until something happens this time. The turnip pops out of the ground. Whew. That was a lot of pulling. Well, so the farmer and the farmer's wife invite all of the neighbors over for dinner. And the farmer, the farmer's wife, their daughter, the dog, the cat, and the mouse, and all of the farmer's neighbors sit down and enjoy dinner. They had turnip stew and turnip steak, turnip pizza, and even turnip ice cream. They ate and ate until they couldn't eat anymore. Ooh. But everybody was happy and full because everyone on the farm helps and everyone eats, even the littlest one. Well, friends, that was a great story on learning to work together and what happens when everybody comes together and does their part. But that's the end of our story time today. I'm going to miss you guys. Such fun hanging out with you. But before we go, let's sing our closing song. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Story time is done today. We've had a lot of fun. It's time to say goodbye to our friends.